Here we are, getting ready for our backpacking training in Tasmania, loading up our new Old Man mountain rucks and panniers. We are so excited to try this new strong setup, with 3 bags in the front and 3 bags on the back. We'll talk more about this setup and our gear in another video, because, as we mentioned in previous episodes, time is not on our side before we leave for South America. We'll start from Mole Creek all the way to Sandy Cape, bicycling over 320 kilometers, following the legendary Tassie Gift Trail. And we are hoping to make it in 5 days to meet Nathan's family for our last days together in Tasmania. We got dropped off in Mole Creek and found a beautiful little campground for the night, with birds singing us to sleep. A peaceful start before things got very real. We are right your journey, and here starts our backpacking training. The plan for today was 80 kilometers. What we didn't plan for was the weather. Among the bits of gear we still need to buy, rain gear for me is high on the list. So yes, it took exactly 30 minutes for me to be soaked from head to toe. We passed King Solomon Cave National Park before meeting some locals on the way. We try to stay positive by admiring all the lush vegetation the rain brings, and all the little waterfalls where we filled our bottles. We managed our first big climb and rejoined the main road at Liena on Mercy Valley.
Left or right?
We kept climbing to the top of the valley, which was supposed to have an amazing view. But all we could see was one giant wall of grey. The cold, the wind, the rain, everything slowed us down and definitely hit my morale. Cycling while freezing and dripping wet does not help your mental game. We escaped to the main road again and turned onto Cockatoo Road, where we found a tiny spot for lunch. We tried to make a shelter with our footprint and a rope. True survival mode. At this point, I tried to convince Nathan why stopping here for the night was a good idea. But we weren't even halfway, and with only 5 days to finish, we didn't have the luxury to stop. So we kept climbing, in the rain, in the silence. Here it appears, the Mount Roland in the mist. Not a perfect view, but a magical, moody one. Very beautiful. We headed into a rocky descent, wet, slippery, and full of loose stones. So we were going very carefully. And with our new racks and panniers, we had a new balance to manage. And in my case, a bad rear tire and brake pads that definitely should have been changed made it a little bit more challenging. Slow and steady, we reached the main road that kept going downhill until Setana Bridge. The rain eased off a little during the climb to Moina. We dreamed of a hot chocolate, but arrived just after closing time. Honestly, probably for the best. We might not have been able to start cycling again.
I think we're nearly at the top of the hill.
We rode a few kilometers on Cradle Mountain road before turning into the forest for the night. We found a beautiful campsite, but full of leeches. And yes, some of them did make it onto us. After taking off all of them, we could settle down in the tent with our clothes to dry and hope for a good night. Huge surprise this morning. Sunshine. Just pure happiness. What a pleasure to pedal with this sun. There was a bit of traffic at the start. It's one of the main roads to Cradle Mountain. And Cradle Mountain is one of the most beautiful places to visit in Tasmania. We passed a little creek where Nathan decided to refill our bottles. Time for me to attempt drying our tent. On the way, we were lucky enough to spot Cradle Mountain from afar. Beautiful, still slightly snowy, just stunning. We crossed the Vale of Belvoir conservation area. Wide open landscapes, rolling hills, incredible colors. Every climb gave us a new mood, a new view, a new wow. Far in the distance, we had another beautiful point of view of Cradle Mountain. Just spectacular.
doing with your hands?
I try to imitate Tasmanian people and process. Like hello. I think one is just fast. Maybe there is a specification for each one.
It's how enthusiastic you are. Yeah, it's a Victorian.
We left this beautiful road and continued on the Highway 1. Surprisingly calm. Now time to take off and make a detour around Mount Pierce. We had a beautiful break under the sun, with a slightly breeze. Just perfect to get all our stuff drying while having lunch. We passed the old railway station at Hatfield and entered peaceful forest tracks again. We also got amazing views over the Mount Pierce.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit overgrown.
Eventually, the tracks became rougher. More rocks, more mud, and sometimes more branches. We reached a super narrow grassy section between bushes and started doubting the GPS. Then we noticed freshly cut branches, a clear sign the Tassie Gift race organizers had just been through.
Okay, it gets deep and boggy there. Bridge is out.
few extra challenges slowed us down, but with sunshine, no complaints.
Hey mate.
We finally reached Rarata pretty late, just as another rain shower arrived. So, mission: found a campground. After Parawi, we spotted a forest track leading to a perfect campsite, set up just before the rain. The day starts with a little drizzle that quickly became proper rain. Within minutes, I'm soaked again. We reached Hilaire Gorge and found a shelter to regroup and think. The forecast told us what we didn't want to hear. Rain not only for the whole day, but for the next several days too. Because of this rain, on the bright side, the plants were incredible. Giant ferns everywhere, glowing green. But realistically, this was our last main road before heading into several days of remote bush with zero resources. And we had already lost time. So we made the tough call.
We're deciding to pull the pin. We're not going to make it to the shack by the time you guys are leaving. We think we're going to be off-road. We don't know how long. So we've made the decision we've been trying to we've just been riding up the A10 trying to get phone reception. Yeah, so any chance we could get evac from Yola?
We decided to stop the bikepacking trip today. Not easy at all. We really wanted to reach Sandy Cape, but it was more important to enjoy our last days in Tasmania with Nathan's family, especially since his brother came over from the mainland just to see us. We set a meeting point in Yola. Like cockatoos. On these last kilometers, the landscapes change again. Rolling green dairy farmland, small climbs, open views. And of course, the sun came back, making us almost regret our decision. But that regret disappeared fast once the helm started just when we reached the cafe at Yola. We didn't complete the adventure, but the Tassie Gift is now officially on our to-do list for when we come back to Tasmania. In the meantime, we enjoyed a few last days with family, got some gear shopping done, organized fan appointments, and prepared our departure for South America a bit more calmly. Don't forget to subscribe to follow the next steps on our journey. Next episode, Colombia, and the start of a brand new crazy adventure.